SayItInACard.com is an online greeting card company that delivers right to your front door. Visit our website, www.sayItInACard.com. You can read the cards, order the cards, and we ship them directly to you. If you feel it, we say it in a card. We have breakup cards, troubled relationship cards, troubled friendship cards, and of course all of the traditional cards as well, from birthday to Mother's Day. So again, visit us at www.sayItInACard.com. Free shipping for a limited time. I was involved briefly with a married man who believed he had the courage to leave his wife to be with me and to live his truth. This isn't the typical story of a married man promising to leave his wife for a secret lover. Rather, this is a story in part about a gay man who knew he was gay before he got married, but chose to marry a woman because he didn't know how to break free. Rocky and I met on a gay social media site 3 months after I returned to the East Coast to live, and just 11 months after he was married. At the time we met, he was living and working in Dubai as a contractor for the government on a military base, while his wife was stationed in Tallahassee, Florida, where they had a home. In one of the first messages he sent me, Rocky shared that he was married, but that he had regrets. He explained that he had come out to his mother and siblings when he was 18 years old. He sat them. To listen to more of One Thing for Certain, Two Things for Sure, a memoir continued, visit audible.com. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig TheWriter Stewart, and this is So Much to Say YouTube TV. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. So Much to Say YouTube TV is the place that you come to learn and grow, because we discuss socially relevant things mixed with a splash of humor. If you know you have tissue paper feelings, this probably isn't the channel for you. But and however, since you're here, I just need for you to do two things. Hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and turn on that little bell so that you get the notification every single time that I go live or upload something new. I'll see you soon. Bye. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. Please hit the like button. Please hit the share button. Please hit the subscribe button. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig TheWriter Stewart, and this is the Facebook and YouTube live versions of So Much to Say. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. Now, today we're talking about organ donation stuff.
That's right. That's right.
This is David. Those of you that are on my Patreon, you have met David before. Him and his wife, they've been at the brunches. They've been at the backyard barbecue. And for those of you that are on Patreon, you remember he was having a conversation with my mom. Look, damn, he fine. David is married. He went and got his hair cut so that he could get those kinds of
that was yesterday.
Right, so that's why we didn't get on here yesterday, because
I'm in the middle of the 5K.
You know, he was at the barber shop.
And I did make a pit stop at the barber shop.
Right, and so then the barber had him kind of waiting for a moment, and so that kind of spilled over, and then I had stuff I had to do, and so I was like, well, we're gonna have to push this to Thursday. But then some time opened up today, and I said, hey, what about today? Can you do it today? So at any rate, he was having a conversation on one of my Patreons with my mom about organ donation.
Right.
And that was when I got enlisted or got involved to help promote this 5K that is happening this coming Saturday in Atlanta. We're going to start at Grant Park. Many of you who are not even in Atlanta, you have supported. I appreciate that. The link is in the caption of the video. So if you still want to support it, you can. It's $30. You're going to get a swag bag. You're going to get a t-shirt.
Swag bag.
And we're going to have yours shipped to you if you're not in the city of Atlanta, if you're not going to be here for the... Now, if you're local and you don't make it, we're not shipping yours. We're shipping it to the people that... we're shipping it to the people that are out of state. But go ahead and tell us how... tell us your story, because I know that you had a liver transplant. So just kind of give us the who, what, when, where, and all of that kind of stuff.
So 2014, 2014, I was taking my mom, who was 80 years old at the time, to her favorite pastime, which is the casino. She loves the slots. And so I took her to the casino in Montgomery. And, you know, 80 years old, on a walker, I have to get her everything while she sits at the slot machine. I got to go get her coffee, got to go get her food. I took a break, went to the restroom, had to urinate, looked down at it, and I was just shocked.
Blood?
No, it wasn't blood. It looked like I was urinating tea or Coca-Cola.
Oh, wow.
And my first thought was, what did I eat? And I really didn't panic because I had my annual physical the next day. That was a Sunday. I had my annual physical the next day. And so I went, had my physical. They checked my blood. They didn't check my urine because now you have to request for them to check your urine because they've changed all these medical procedures. Finished there, they said for a person who's almost 50, you got the body of a 30-year-old. Well, of course, I left the doctor's office with my head all, chest all out, thinking all that. Later that night, I called a high temp, and I went back, and I said, you checked my blood, but you didn't check my urine.
So what made you call back? Like what?
Because that night, I just broke out in a hot sweat. I wasn't feeling good. All of a sudden, I started feeling weak.
That's that instinct and that intuition, too, kicking in.
Right. And so one of my meetings was canceled the next morning. I said, you know what? I'm going back because they never checked my urine. And my urine was still dark.
The next day.
Right, the next day. And so when I got there, they gave me a cup, went to the restroom, came out with the cup. They looked at it. They was like, you going downstairs to the emergency room. Went downstairs. Sat there for a while. They admitted me to a room, and then they started running tests, and they just couldn't figure it out. They ran tests for 2 days. I was in the hospital, still trying to figure it out.
And your mom was 80 at the time. How you said you were how old?
It was 2014, so I just turned 56. So what is that?
8 years. So that was 48.
48, right. Okay. And so after a while, they kept saying, wow, his kidneys are failing. And then they said, wait a minute, his liver is failing. And wait a minute, both are failing.
Oh, wow.
And so, and I'm sitting there, strongest ever I felt, but they're giving me this news. And then all of a sudden they said, we're going to have to transfer you either to Emory or Piedmont Hospital because they need to look at your organs.
And what hospital were you in originally?
So I was in DeKalb Medical, which is now Emory, but it was DeKalb Medical
at the time. Okay.
And so they transferred me to Piedmont Hospital. Now, granted, when I went in the hospital, I was pretty fit. I mean, I ain't as fit as you, but I was pretty fit. I could bench press 220.
Yeah.
And by the 7th day in the hospital, I barely could lift my cell phone up. That's how quickly I declined.
But you know what? That's a key point that you made. And I'm especially talking to the guys on this point. Like you said, I'm not as fit as you are, and I could bench press this. It's not always about how much you can bench press. And I think a lot of times guys think that because you can lift a certain amount of weight in the gym, that equates to health or good health. Right. So, I mean, I think that's a point to kind of, think about because, I mean, you could be the image of good health, but then what's going on the inside. That's why it's important to get checked out. That's why it's good to be monitoring what you're eating and et cetera, et cetera. But go ahead.
Right, because some guys can lift 300 pounds but can't walk 2 blocks.
Exactly. That's my point. That's my point. But go ahead.
So around the 7th day, they started identifying and said, wow, it's both are failing, his liver and his kidney. Oh, wow. And they said, if this keeps declining, we're going to have to consider a transplant. So when your organs fail, when your liver start having trouble, the doctors give you what is called a MELD score. A MELD score is anywhere between 0 and 40. If your MELD score for your liver is a 0 to a 5, your liver is functioning real well. Okay. If it's a 40, you about to check out on life. You about to get out of here.
So when they were saying you may have to have a transplant, were they talking about the liver and the kidney, or they were one or the other?
They were talking about both. And so my MELD score, remember I said 0 to 40? Yeah. My MELD score was a 38.
Jesus, you almost very at the top of the end of the range.
Right. My skin had turned as black as this as well.
Well, as it was.
My eyes were fluorescent. My eyes was actually the same color of the bag.
Because when you have liver problems,
right,
like jaundice, a lot of times your skin and your eyes will start to turn yellow.
Right. Go ahead. When you see a lot of people around, you can kind of tell something's going on with the organs. So my skin turned dark, my eyes were fluorescent, and my body was shutting down. And so days and days went by. I'm still in ICU. We're still trying to figure it out. People are coming to visit, and every time they come, they got on a different outfit. 1 minute they come in natural, next minute they come in with the gown on, Next minute, they come in with a mask and glove. And the more visitors came, I was getting staph infections. I was getting sick.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And so they put out this rule that in ICU, you could only have your close family members. Because I was getting so many visitors. Because
there's a lot of germs coming in.
A lot of germs. And they meant well because they wanted to see me, but they was getting me sicker.
But I'm sure that probably affected you too, because now that's cutting down on your visitors list. And then let's just say you only have 2 or 3 people that can visit. They can't always come at the same time or can't come all the time. So then that probably helped with loneliness, or were you there a lot by yourself?
Yeah. So what it did was it played with my psyche, because people were coming in and next thing you know, they had a gown on. They had what's going on that you got to wrap up so much? What am I dealing with that's making you protect yourself? So it kind of messed with your psyche. Yeah. But my wife was there, which she was my girlfriend at the time.
When I met Corinne,
right,
I remember her being all head over heels about you, and she was. And then I remember her telling me that. I don't know if I remember her telling me it was a liver thing, but I remember her telling me that you were going through something. I think she may have told me that, and I just remember thinking like, oh my God! But like, I don't remember getting a whole lot of detail, but I definitely remember that happening. But go ahead.
Because I had never been sick before. So what happened to me happens to less than 1% of people in the United States.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1% of people. And so, days and days are going by. I'm getting sicker. I'm getting weaker.
Yeah.
I can't walk no more.
How long were you in the hospital?
I was in ICU for 40 days.
40 days. Let me just say this real quick. Somebody's asking, where do I donate? There's a link in the caption of the video. It's for the race. The money goes towards.
So we help Piedmont, and we just today we're adding Emory to the list.
These are hospitals for those of you that are not in Georgia.
Right. We want to support children who are on the transplant list.
And so when you click that link down here, my team is called the Writer's Block. So you click on the link that says join the team or something like that. It says, you click on that and then you use the drop down box and it says the Writer's Block. Click that. Your $30 goes towards that.
Right. Right.
Because you were saying one day he was telling me that his medication would have cost like $6,000 a month. $6,000 a month.
Right.
Just for the medication.
And you're right. And for a 30-day supply of pills.
Right.
I was taking, so they started giving me pills in the hospital to try to counteract whatever was going on.
Yeah.
But it was gradually shutting down. Next thing you know, they had to put me on dialysis while I'm in the hospital. I'm getting weaker. My legs, my whole body is starting to swell up.
Yeah.
It just was an awful time. And it got to a point where the doctors started coming in and saying, it looks very bleak. He's already at a 38.
Yeah.
He's going to need a transplant. And so people started coming in your room, asking you, do you have a wheel and all that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm rebuking all that. I'm like,
well, let's just have a real human moment right now.
All right.
So when you're thinking that, because it's easy to try to be, it's one thing to try to be optimistic and like, oh, I'm going to get through this. But there are people who have said, oh, I'm going to get through cancer or I'm going to get through whatever. And then they passed away.
Right.
So were there moments where you were like doubtful and like thinking like, I'm really probably not going to get through this?
To be honest with you, I didn't think like that at all. I was still shocked at what was going on. Right. And I think I was in denial.
Right.
And so when people were coming in my room, whether I could barely talk or whatever, I was still joking. Nurses was coming through and I was letting them know if they was fine or not. I was like, so I was still being myself.
Right.
And, everybody was laughing at my jokes because I think they felt sorry for what I was dealing with.
Yeah.
But I didn't really accept that.
Yeah.
And until later on, when it got to that point where it was looking very bleak and my sons came in and I had a conversation with them. And my conversation with them was, I apologize. I apologize that I'm not going to be able to see you graduate from college.
So there was a part of you that thought you weren't going to make it.
Yeah, but that was later. That was
okay.
Later on, right? I told them I wanted to make sure they were okay.
I know they were all the pieces
because my sons are like my best friends, and so I wanted to make sure they were okay. And I wanted to apologize to them. I apologize that I won't be at your graduation. I apologize that I won't be at your wedding. I even joked about that. I said, at least I won't have to pay for it. And then, I apologize that, we won't be calling each other about whatever.
Yeah.
And And you know, and they were having trouble accepting that.
So you said people were coming in and asking you about, do you have a will?
Right.
Did you put those things in place? Did you start to put that stuff in place?
I didn't start putting that in place. I was still in denial. I was like, no.
So you never did it?
I never did it.
To this day, do you have a will?
I have a will now.
Okay. So you waited till you recovered.
Right. Then
what sense does that make?
I'm making more money now, so you know I didn't have much.
Oh my God! Okay, Aretha and Prince without a will. Go ahead.
I have one now. I have one now. And so,
but you were at death's door and you ain't had no will.
Oh, I was knocking at death's door.
Right, like this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But you know what? You think that you are immoral. You know.
You do feel
think
immoral.
It's not going to happen to you yet. Yeah. You think that you should start getting a will when you start getting 60. You know.
Now watch it, because we got a lot of people in here that's 60 now.
Well, I mean, look, I'm 4 years.
You know, my friend Angela's 60. She don't look 60.
Well, you know,
I think that you should probably start looking at a will when you're about 75.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Well, 70.
When you look at the stats of African American men,
that's right.
That's why you see so many African American women walking around with fur coats. Because
listen, African American straight men, y'all need to start getting the will at 50. Because y'all not in as good as health.
So we need to be vegan and change our
lifestyle. You ain't got to be vegan, but you know, when I say we, I'm talking about the community. The gay men.
Right.
We typically work out. Y'all don't really work out.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? We do it a lot of times for vanity's sake.
Exactly.
But y'all don't have that. Because, you know, women will kind of take y'all as y'all are.
Because thanks to you guys, the ratio is in our favor.
Right.
The ratio is in our favor. So we can be swole, we can be short.
Right.
We'll still get some play.
Right.
So, you know, it got to that point where I had the conversation with my sons. And then I had a conversation with God. And, you know, when you can't move and you're laying on your back at a hospital, you start those lights, those fluorescent lights. If you're staring at them all day, they seem to illuminate the whole room.
Yeah.
And so when that started happening, I almost felt like that was my moment to talk to God, because the whole room was white. And I had a conversation saying, I'm not ready to go. I'm not ready to stop being a father. I'm not ready to stop being a community activist and an arts activist. But I'm in so much freaking pain right now, and I don't quit on anything. But if you say this is my time, I will accept it. I said, I don't want to accept it, but I will accept it because I'm in so much pain.
Oh my God. That's an honest prayer.
That you know, because you got to be specific when you pray. I wasn't ready to go.
Be ye specific. I say it all the time.
Yeah. You know, people sometimes seem like they're afraid of being specific. When you ask a new couple, what do you want, a boy or girl? They'll say, I just want a healthy baby. I want a healthy baby. No, I want a daughter. I want a daughter. Right. And so,
because the universe responds to that, I believe.
I believe so too. So that's the point I was. I had that conversation, and then after that, Corinne came into the room, and one of the nurses gave her a box. Now I'm sitting there, skin as black as coal, eyes fluorescent, tubes everywhere, my nose, my mouth, body all swolled up. And she opened up the box, and it was an engagement ring. Now, this is when the doctors had pretty much said he has about 5 days to live. Oh my God. Yeah. So so she opened up the ring, and you know, there's a video of her kissing me, you know, after getting the ring, and so, you know, that's kind of what happened. And then right after that, I went ahead and signed to be on the donor list. I hadn't signed before. And this is why we decided, when he came to the brunch that day and asked me about what are you doing? How you doing? Hair all over her head. I'm good. But you know, so when we had the brunch that day, and he and my mom were sitting here talking about it, because you guys know my mom is on dialysis, and you were on dialysis for that period of time, but then you were able to come off of dialysis. But the reason why I got involved was because it was really organic. They were sitting here talking, and I'm moving around the house. I'm videoing for Patreon, and food is everywhere, you know. So, but I kind of happened to hear them talking, and I heard you telling her that, you know, African Americans aren't really on the donor list. I'm not on the donor list. Right. And that connected with me. That resonated with me. Because you was listening, because you burnt the French toast, I think, because you was listening to our conversation. So that's real. Listeners know he can't multitask.
Oh my God. So I heard him saying that, and then I also heard, the importance of us donating, because a lot of times we're on the list. It doesn't matter if, I don't guess it's specific to your race. Like,
well, it helps,
but it does help because if you're a Black person and you need an organ, it helps if more Black people are donating, because sometimes.
Right. Now, in my case, I did not get a Black organ. I did not get an organ from a Black person. But so
was he Indonesian?
No.
No. I think. Go ahead.
He was straight up one of those that got you kicked off IG. So anyway. So once I signed on the donor list, within a few hours after I signed, so I proposed to Corinne. I signed on the donor list. A few hours later, they found a match. Jesus. To the point to where I had a doctor come into my room. He wasn't even my doctor. He was an African-American doctor, and he came in and put his hand on my shoulder and started rubbing my shoulder. And I asked him, I said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm not your doctor. I'm down the hall." He said, "But I had to come in here because I heard that there was a young man who just got on the donor list and got a match. And I knew that God was on the floor."
Yes, God.
And so
he just wanted to touch him in the garment.
Because he knew God was in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so
my team is called the Writer's Block. Sorry if I jump. I'm just trying to watch these comments too. My team is called the Writer's Block. There it is right there. So when you click on that link, just do the drop down. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he came in, rubbed my shoulder because he felt like God was in the neighborhood and he definitely wanted to be on the same block. And that's when I started knowing that how impactful this was, how significant this moment was. And so now, granted, I'm sick. I'm on dialysis. I'm in the hospital. I'm swollen. I went from 215 to 240. Because
you were fluid.
There was a lot of fluid. Yeah.
So wait, when they said there was an organ that came through, that was a kidney or that was a liver?
That was a liver.
Okay.
That was a liver. And so
you would have still had to do dialysis after that.
Right.
Okay.
And I did do dialysis after all of that, but I ended up getting off. So then once that happened, within hours, I heard a loud noise outside my room, and I was so irritable because you're on these meds. So I'm taking 40 pills a day.
Jesus.
At the hospital. I had trouble swallowing the Sudafed back in the day,
and
so 40 pills, all different size. I had to take them to keep on living. And
you have to take pills now every day?
I have to take pills now every day.
Retro?
Anti-rejection.
Anti-rejection, that's what it's called.
Because when you get another person's organ,
it's foreign to your body. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm there, and all of a sudden, I hear a loud noise outside my room, and I'm so irritable. I probably told the nurse, "What is that freaking noise?" And the nurse came in with almost tears of joy, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, Mr. Man, that's a helicopter with your liver and your surgeon landing. You're gonna live. You're going to surgery." Now, granted, they just told me I had about 5 days to live.
And so, what day was this?
This was the third day, so that's already.
And they say on the third day Jesus rose. Isn't that what they said?
But now here's the sad part and the interesting part.
Well, wait, before you tell me that, when you heard that helicopter, was any of your family there, or it was just you?
It was me, Corinne, I think maybe my mother, and that was about it.
Okay.
That was about it.
Okay.
And so here's the sad part, or the interesting part, or both, is in order to receive a liver, that means someone else has to die.
Yeah.
And so that weighs on you when you're receiving this organ, this life-saving organ, because you feel guilty because you're so excited that now you have the opportunity to extend your life.
But it was at the expense of somebody else.
Exactly. And you think about that person, you think about that family who made that decision. And so it becomes so real on the importance of what life is all about. And so while I was, saying goodbye to my kids, there was a white male named Dylan Mouton. We got the same initials, DM, in Scotts, Louisiana, who had a seizure. Had many seizures, but this seizure he had in his bathroom, and he fell between the doors of the bathroom. His sister couldn't push the door open in time, so no oxygen got to the brain when he went to the hospital, and he was in a coma. And on the third day, he died. And, you know, and his parents made a decision and said, my son, my 21-year-old son, was so full of life.
He was 21.
He was 21. He went hunting, he went skating, he did everything. And he was just a good all-around kid. They thought he was so full of life that they made the decision to donate his organs. 6 men received his organ. There's a man walking around now that can see because he got his eyes. There's a man walking around alive because he got his heart.
Jesus.
I got his liver. There are 2 brothers that got his kidneys. And then there's another guy that got his lung. Yeah. I'm the only one that sent them a letter to say thank you.
Wow.
Not only did I send them a letter.
I just got chills.
Not only did I send them a letter, me and Corinne drove down there
to meet them
and spend the whole day with them.
How long after the transplant did you go down there to meet them?
Well, when you get a transplant, I sent a letter like time I got out the hospital, but they can't receive the letter for a whole year.
Why is that?
So because you gotta give respect to the
to give them time to grieve. Right. And that makes sense.
You never know how they're gonna take
because it reminds them and it brings it back up. And I get that. Okay.
So a year passed and I never got a response back.
Okay.
The second year.
So you had to wait a year for them to send a letter. Right. Then a year passed after they got it.
Right.
Okay.
She received the letter and she didn't open it. She wasn't ready to open it.
Yeah.
And so she waited a year.
Oh wow. So we're now at 3 years.
Yeah. She waited. No. So
it was
it happened in 2014. She received it in 2015.
Okay.
She didn't call me until 2016. And I remember I was watching Cleveland and the Warriors play, and she called me, and
you looked at the phone like, "Oh, I don't want to answer this."
Well, I didn't know who it was.
I know, right? So you're like, "Oh, I don't want to answer."
Yeah, I'm watching the game. Who is this?
Right.
And it was Linda, the mother, and we talked, and I couldn't sit down talking to her. I probably walked all through the house, all outside on the phone with her. I was so excited, and I was just so thankful and grateful that she read my letter. And then she Googled me and she was like, wow, my son liver is with someone who's really doing some positive stuff.
Yeah.
And we talked for about 2.5 hours. And now to this day, we talk. I call on Mother's Day. I call on the holidays. The sister and I are Facebook friends. So you might see on my Facebook page where she might comment, hey, brother, love you, brother.
Oh, wow. You about to send me out of here.
Yeah. So,
wow.
And so when you think about it, somebody you don't even know made a decision to say, we're going to extend the life of a stranger. How many people are going to do that?
And somebody just commented, you said his mother said he was so vivacious, he was full of life. Right. And his life does extend because part of him is still living through you.
And so every opportunity I get, I always give him a shout out. Yeah. I would not be here today. I would not be on your podcast here today if someone would have given me the most precious gift you can give anyone, which is the gift of life.
Right. Wow.
So, yeah.
So tell me how you ended up getting so you got the transplant for the liver.
I got
and then you had to do dialysis because the kidney was still bad.
The kidney was still bad, and they felt that after the surgery, the kidney might bounce back.
Okay.
And so I had the surgery, did the dialysis, went for about 30 days. If you've ever been to a dialysis place, everyone has the same doom and gloom expression on their face. When I was there, I was actually in a glass room so people could see me wrapped in a blanket, hooked up to a machine for 3 to 5 hours that is making the craziest, most disturbing noise if you move the wrong way 3 days out the week. And then all of a sudden, they didn't see me. Everyone there assumed I had passed away because nobody really gets off of dialysis. And I came back still skinny with a trench coat and cupcakes and brownies. And I gave brownies to everyone that was sitting there, including the nurses. And it was the first time that I saw that doom and gloom look that everybody had. And it was smiles and laughter because they had never seen anybody get off dialysis. Well, I knew then that my life was not going to be successful. My life was going to be significant. And so it's going to be inspiring. And I saw the look on their face and say, wow, now I know what my purpose. I thought I knew what my purpose was because I'm in the arts. I run art centers.
We're going to get to that arts and stuff in a minute because, you know, I wrote a stage play. We're trying to figure out how to get this back on the stage. Go ahead.
Well, you can do it in your backyard. I mean, it's already set up. It's already set up.
Cut it out.
Okay.
So wait, I did want to ask you, because somebody asked a question, and that was actually what I was going to ask. What do you think caused it? Did they ever tell you what caused the liver to, I guess, start to fail? Or was it connected to diet? Was it what was it?
It wasn't connected to diet. It wasn't connected to alcohol or drugs or anything like that. Everybody who knows me know that I don't do that. I will have a drink every now and then, maybe 3 drinks out of a month if I'm at a social event. So I really don't really drink. And so, you know, when something happens to you that happens to less than 1%, you go through this period because you're so sick. You're throwing up every day. You're having diarrhea every day. You just feeling bad. Even when you had your surgery, you still feeling bad. Certain things you can't eat too much of. Can't eat too much bananas. Can't eat too many potatoes because it will really mess up your body. And you go through this point where you're like, why am I going through this? Why am I so sick? Why? And then you get to a point where you say, you know why? Because God got a plan for you. Yeah. If it was anybody else, they would have got their liver transplant, went back to work, and just carry on with their day, taking care of their family. But he knew I wouldn't be idle.
Listen.
He knew I wouldn't be quiet.
He knew you would do something like that.
He knew I would be impactful to others. And now to date, we've given Piedmont Hospital and other people over $10,000. And we're going to try to double that in the next couple of years in terms of how we help people. Because the meds are not cheap, you know. So
someone is asking, and I don't know if you know the answer to this. She said, if you've had chemo or heart failure, can you still donate organs?
So if you've had chemo or heart failure, you can. One of the things that they look at that kind of cross us out, and when I say us, I'm talking about African-American people, is our diet. A lot of times it's so bad. So
I get on y'all all the time about this diet now.
Yeah. So your high blood pressure will limit you from donating your organs. You know, being a diabetic, all these issues that are kind of common in our people, it kind of crossed them out for donating organs. But we need more organs than anybody.
Black people. That's why I've been encouraging you guys for the past few months. I don't get any of this money. It was $25 when I first started promoting it, and now it's $30. Again, the link is in the caption of the video. My team is called, when you click that link, it's the very first thing that you see in the caption of this video. When you click on that, there's a drop down box. It would say something about start a team or join a team or something like that. And then you go to the drop box, and my team is called the Writer's Block. And then you can donate your $30. You're going to get a swag bag or a t-shirt. If you're out of state, we're going to mail it to you. David has a list of the names. We're going to read those names before we're done with this. And so I'll have them email the names to me. And then I'll forward them over to David so that he can mail you your swag bag. But this is a great cause. And, you know, I say to you guys all the time, when you give out to the universe, when you support causes because your spirit is touched or whatever, the universe has no choice but to reward you. It always comes back. So when I say to you, support Black businesses, I don't just mean me or mine. I mean, you know, be intentional about what you're doing, the good energy that you put in the world.
So, you know, in a nutshell, so that's what happens. So now for the rest of my life, I've always done good deeds. Now I just do it like I'm on steroids.
So wait. How'd you get off the dialysis?
So I got off the dialysis because the meds, because the timing, because God.
So you didn't have a kidney transplant?
I did not have a kidney transplant. What happened when they did the surgery, they damaged my kidneys. So my kidneys didn't bounce all the way back, but it bounced back enough to where it keeps me off of dialysis.
When they did the surgery for the liver, for the transplant.
So if your kidneys are functioning at, I think, 20%, you're gonna have to go on dialysis. So my kidneys was functioning at 28%. Now they're functioning, I think, at 35%. So they didn't kick all the way back. But so I have to monitor. I have to go to the doctor every 6 months, you know, to look at the medicine. One of the things that happens to you when you get a transplant, the anti-rejection medicine that you're taking will automatically make your blood pressure high.
Oh,
so now you have to get on blood pressure pills to monitor.
Balance it.
Right. So
there's another question. Again, we don't know. If you have sickle cell, can you donate organs?
If you have sickle cell, you can donate some organs. I'm not sure. Remember, you can donate a lung. You can donate your eyes. It doesn't necessarily have to be your heart or your kidney or your liver.
Yeah.
There are other.
Yeah, there are other. Yeah.
And then you can donate skin. And so,
skin.
Skin graft, you can donate skin.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
because sometimes when people need a skin graft, they don't have enough extra skin somewhere to be able to pull it from.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, that's
I didn't know that. Now that's new to me. I didn't know you could donate skin.
So when you think about it, 22 people die every day waiting on an organ. I'm a mentor for Donate Life.
That's 22 in the U.S.
22 in the U.S. and 6% of that is African American Hispanic. So we
60%.
Yeah.
So that's about 13 or 14 of those people.
Right. Every day waiting on an organ. That's how significant my organ was. I signed and I got it, within hours. Most people wait 4 or 5 years. Most people wait too long and they end up not making it because they never got an organ. The most sought out organ out there is a kidney.
Wow. I was going to say heart if I had to guess.
No, I mean, if you need a heart transplant, you're not going to be on the waiting list, as long as you are on a kidney.
Right.
Kidney, you might be on that list for 9 to 10 years. You might have to move out of state to see if there's a shorter list somewhere else and set up residence somewhere else. That's how serious.
Wait, set up residency?
Yeah, because if you want to get on the list, you might have to go somewhere else that
they're not in demand.
Like you might have to go to Wyoming that might not have a huge waiting list for organs.
Wait a minute. Wait.
So some people.
I thought there was like a national database.
There is a national database, but it's also based on what area you live.
Now, now you know where I'm about to go with this. Now,
so if you live in
black people may not be getting that because if you're in the black area, you may not be.
So if you in Alabama,
if you need to move to Wyoming to get your organ, get over to Wyoming.
Right. If you live
but you got to live there for a certain amount of time.
I mean, maybe 2 or 3 months. As long as you claim resident, it might be 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not sure. But if you're in Alabama or Mississippi,
in those states where
is a high demand for a kidney, and you've been on the list for 5-6 years, and you still ain't the top of the list, you might want to consider relocating because your quality of life is going to be very, very important. And once you do get that transplant, that kidney transplant, your body start operating almost 80% better within a few hours. That's how fast it happens. Once you get that,
your body is magical.
Yeah,
it really is. So now here's the thing that I do know about transplants. You're not even eligible for a transplant if you have certain pre-existing conditions. Like, for example, like with my mom, she's on dialysis. You guys know that.
Right.
And when she first found out, my mom is 78 now. When she found out, I think she was probably like 73 or 72. She had some bladder cancer, which they cleared up.
Okay.
But because she had that cancer, they would not put her on the donor list. They wouldn't even let family do it.
Right.
And because of her age.
Right.
So I do know that sometimes when you have some sort of some other type of medical condition, they won't let you.
Not only that is they do a background check on you.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
And so
all them hot wings and shit y'all over there eating.
Now I'm not even talking about that kind of background check, but just to give you an example. Yeah. And your behavior.
You can't get an organ if you have a.
I'm not saying you can't get one. What I'm saying
they might jump over you.
What I'm saying is if you on social media and you posted that
what I tell you about posting that nonsense.
You in a club
smoking hookah and
smoking.
They're not about to waste their organs on you.
Partying, hanging out cars, doing this. That organ costs $1 million.
And they're not about to give you that organ if you can be out of the club smoking hookah.
And there's a waiting list. And so when they start making that decision, we got 5 people that are at the top of the list. Well, one of those 5 he's reckless. He's
so
out
gonna
the
jump
club.
over you.
Yeah, they was like, with this person a little bit more responsible. And so it plays a really important part of the decision for the rest of your life.
So we have a nurse that's in here, and she said, I just had a patient that got denied for a kidney because he was in jail.
So I don't know if you remember this story in Atlanta, baby AJ, the baby who was born without kidneys, and his dad wanted to donate one of his kidneys, but his dad was in jail. The Emory Hospital wouldn't do it. We did a prayer vigil, weeks and weeks. We met with the administrative and everything like that. He ended up getting a kidney transplant from someone else. But the thing was, and when his dad got out of jail, I started mentoring his dad. You know, saying, hey, you got to get your life together, this kind of stuff. Your baby needs you. He needs your organ.
So why wouldn't they take the organ from the father? Because he had been in jail.
He had been in jail, and he wasn't.
So what that mean?
And he wasn't in jail for anything real serious. I mean, it wasn't murder, bank robbery, or anything like that. I think it was either fighting or stole something.
I'm still trying to find the correlation.
Yeah. But they denied it. It was all in the newspaper. It made national news. So, you know, Google baby AJ.
And baby AJ, Georgia.
Right. And he will be at the 5K this year.
Oh, who, the little boy?
The little boy.
How old is he now?
Baby AJ now is probably about 6. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, about 6. Born without kidneys.
Well, you know, that's just like, and this may have changed. I don't know. But I don't think that gay men can donate blood.
Are you serious?
I know at one time you couldn't. I don't know if that's changed. And correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. But, and my blood type is O positive. So I can donate to anybody.
Right.
But they don't even, I don't know if that's changed. So correct me if I'm wrong. But
don't put that on IG, because then this new page you get shut down.
Fuck IG. But yeah, so I mean, wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. But I do know that when it comes to organ donation, your overall behavior matters, and because the organ is not cheap. And then when you're in the hospital, whether you're able to or not, they're constantly giving you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, if you were sick as me, just the smell of that or the thought of that, you couldn't eat it. I could not eat for weeks. It just made me sick, but the food kept coming. And when you look at that hospital bill, you're like, wow, this bill is $1 million. You know, this organ is, all of this stuff is $1 million. Are you worth that? If your behavior is so criminal, and then now you need this organ, this life-saving organ, somebody else who's on that list might go past you because they got proper behavior. And so, you know, you will be investigated in terms of your lifestyle. So,
right. So someone asked if it's too late to donate. No, it is not. The link is in the caption of the video. I'll post it again. I'll tweet it out once we're done.
Which link did you put up there?
The
I'm a Father?
Yeah.
Okay. So once they go to I'mAFather5k.org, they can make a donation. Is donate button at the top.
Okay.
Or if they want to register for the 5K, they just click register.
Right.
And then once you click register, it's going to say individual or team. You click team, and then you click team participant, and then you stroll and find your team.
Okay.
And so that's what they want to join the team. If they would just want to make a donation, the donation button is right at the top.
Right at the top. Okay.
Right.
So anyway, this is really important. I mean, I have a friend now in Maryland. When I was home last weekend, I went and visited a friend of mine who I just found out is on the liver donation list. He's waiting for a liver.
Wow.
And he said, yeah, I saw that you've been promoting that. But he literally just told me like 2 weeks ago. And just so happened I had to go home to take care of some stuff. But he was like, I saw that on your live that you were promoting that. And so it has become a little more personal for me, because can you just imagine if you're waiting for an organ? So that's why I'm asking those of you that can donate, at least donate, because there's somebody that's waiting. You
know what the most challenging part is? When you're trying to share information, especially with us, there's so many myths and rumors out that really, you know, stops us from considering registered to be an organ donor. We believe that if we get injured or sick, the hospital is going to say my Black life don't matter, and they're going to take my organ. We have all these myths that we've grown up with. They're going to take it. They're going to take it. Don't sign that.
We think that they're not going to really fight for our life, and they'll just take our organs and donate them.
And the hospital has nothing to do with your organ assignment. There's an organization called LifeLink and Donate Life. They have a 6-step process. So it doesn't happen with the hospital. So once you check into the hospital ain't looking on your driver's license saying, oh, I see he's an organ donor, I'm about to take it. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. There's a whole process. You have to identify a match. You have to go through these 6 steps, and it has nothing to do with the hospital. The only thing the hospital reports is this person is heading out. You know, so let me notify. And then the organization come in and they talk to the family, you know, and they usually talk to the family at the worst time you can talk to a family. A family might be dealing with someone who's in a coma that they're going to have to decide to pull the plug, where you got a representative from Donate Life saying, I want you to consider, here's some information. Right. Well, at that time, you really don't want to hear. So a lot of times attorneys will call me and say, David, can you come to ICU and talk to this family? Because I give them a different light on it. I have nothing to win, nothing to lose, but I let the parent know that you could extend their life through someone else. And you never know who's going to get your child heart or kidney. It might be the next president. It might be the next CEO who's going to make an impact. It might be the next inventor. And so when I share my personal story with them, 10 times out of 10, they've made a decision to say, I'm going to donate. Right. And they'll kiss their child goodbye. And it's one of the most touching moments. And then they'll ask me to stand in the room with them.
And then somebody made a comment in here too, and I've thought about that before too.
What's that?
That you think that if you're going to be an organ donor, that they're going to take your organs and give it to somebody that ain't black. Like they're going to be harvesting them for white people. And I know it might sound crazy.
So, no, but that response right there is what the majority of people really think.
I know. So, that's why I'm saying it. And I know they'll eat me up in the comments about it, but listen, I know somebody thinking it.
So I go around sometime either the request of Lifelink and Donate Life, and I talk about organ donor. I'm very transparent about mine because I wanted to put a face, because a lot of times people were like, man, I didn't know much about it until I heard you on CNN. I heard you on the radio talking about it. And so now I put a face to it. Right. And I went and talked about it to one of the toughest crowds you could talk to. That's the church. And, you know, and the church people.
Because some church people believe, no, that I'm not supposed to do that. Like that they're, and so, I'm not going to call her out, but somebody
you know
I know.
You know what I said?
What?
So when I first got up to talk, there were a lot of people in the audience that was like this. They had already made their mind up.
And then there are certain religions, Jehovah's Witness, for one, they don't believe in transplants. They don't believe in blood transfusions.
So you know what I said to them?
And if they don't believe in receiving it, they definitely ain't giving it to you.
So you know what I said to them? I said, so if you don't believe in transplant, then when Eve got Adam's rib, what do you think that is? That's bone marrow. That's a transplant. Okay, so that's in the Bible. So let's get past that, and then here in Atlanta, you know, 2 of the biggest funeral homes is Gregory B. Levitt and Willie Watkins. Right. Well, you can hold on to your organs all you want to. If you hold on to them, they're gonna get them. They're gonna pull them out before you go in the ground.
Wait, Willie Watkins?
Yeah, they're gonna pull them and trash them. You know, so.
Oh, right, when you get embalmed and stuff.
Right.
Now, listen, my girl, Phyllis Ajaya, we went to school together. She says there is a 3-month deferral for men that have sex with men, meaning 3 months from the last sexual encounter. So if you are sexually active, you can't give blood. I knew I was right about that. Because I've thought about, I mean, I don't mind giving blood.
But
and like I said,
who would share that personal information? Well, it's been 2 months and 3 weeks since.
My thing is, you just need to screen the blood, period. And like you screened it for everybody. Right. So it's just like, why not? And I think it was a thing at one time, it was about hepatitis, obviously HIV, before they started screening it, because there was this thought that only gay people were getting HIV. Right. But I mean, like I said, I'm O positive, so anybody can receive my blood. I can only receive O positive blood. So if I ever needed blood, I'm gonna put an APB out on social media for O positive blood. But
don't put it on IG. It's a wrap.
He is not gonna let me. Listen, they didn't took my IG down, y'all. So I don't know if I'm coming back to Instagram or not. So just follow me on YouTube and Facebook. Right. But and Twitter. But I think Twitter is more powerful than Instagram anyway. But it was something I was gonna ask you, and I can't remember what it was. But I will say this: I did challenge one of my mom's friends that is Jehovah's Witness, because when I last talked to her about it, she said, yeah, I don't believe in any of that. And so I said, well, I can't remember what was the example I gave her. I said, well, what about this? I said, if y'all don't believe in transplants, then how do y'all believe in this? And she said, well, I don't know. She said, I don't have the answer to that. Right. And I said to her, I said, but that's an example of how so many people, and I'm not even just going to say Black people, but so many people allow religion to guide their lives, and they don't even know where they're being guided to. They don't even understand why they believe what they believe.
Right.
And it's just like, you don't believe that. That's what you were taught. And so since that's what you were taught, you've carried that through your life, and you've made it a belief.
It's very, very hard to untrain your mind when you've had family members through generations that have planted a seed. It's very, very hard.
That's why so many Black people are still stuck on this whole thing about gay people. It's wrong to be gay because we've been conditioned to think that.
Right.
And we refuse to believe that sexuality is instinctive and it's how we wired. It's not a choice. It's not a decision. Like, you didn't wake up and decide, oh, I'm going to be Black.
Right.
You didn't. Yeah. I'm just gonna be Black.
You know, with the struggle, if you knew what we dealt with, who would want to pick that?
That's what I'm saying.
You know. But we embrace who we are, and we're leaders, and everyone follows our style and our inventions and everything about us. We're so unique and we're creative. But when it comes to that thinking about organ donation, transplant, we get locked into where they say
and religion, because we've just been conditioned to not even challenge the church or you know, institutions and that kind of thing.
And you have to challenge our leaders.
I know what I was going to ask.
You got to make them accountable for their words.
Yeah. So the thing I wanted to ask, I know we're doing the race Saturday, and you do it annually, right?
Right. On Father's Day weekend, which is the least celebrated holiday in the world.
And it is.
It's the socks and draws holiday. You know?
I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna get my father, and Father's Day is it's in a couple of days.
And you know what? Tomorrow, I think Macy's might run a Father's Day commercial. Maybe tomorrow. It might be the day before Father's
Day. Meanwhile, they would have started Mother's Day in the February.
January, Valentine's Day, then Mother's Day. So,
well, what I was gonna ask you, have you guys ever done a drive, like a campaign to raise awareness and to sign people up for organ donation?
So there are a lot of organizations out. And again, I partner with Donate Life and LifeLink. I'm working on something very big for next year that I'll share with you later. But it's really going to bring more awareness to organ donation and the impact and the significance that it has on the lives of everyone. And so when you get a life-saving organ, when you get a second chance on life, you look at things differently. You know that technically an organ is supposed to last you 9 years. That's what they say.
Really?
So I'm celebrating my 8th year. So if I let my mind go somewhere, I'll be thinking like, wow, you mean I only have 12 more months before this organ fail? Or I can think positive and say, I got a lot of work to do. I ain't got time to worry about that because God gave me a second chance on life.
That's right. And anything can happen.
Right. And
in my favor.
Right. I can get hit by a car and won't have nothing to do with
I wasn't going in that direction.
Well,
I was saying if your kidney or liver does start to expire, anything can happen in your favor. Just like it happened the first time, it can happen again.
Right.
But what I was going to say was, I didn't know that you said it was a lifespan of 8 years.
9 years.
9 years for any organ.
Yeah. Now they can fail before that.
They can fail, but
yeah.
But
they can go. They can go from a friend of mine. He's had a kidney for 25 years.
But see, I was thinking that it's based on the age of and health of the person that donated. So since your guy was 21, I'm thinking, oh, you're gonna have that for the rest of your life. But that's what I was thinking.
But it all depends on how your body accepts it.
Yeah. Which is why you have to have that medication every day.
How you take your medication. Just think about it. You know, I travel. And so if I lose my medication and I'm somewhere in Italy or something like that, what am I going to do? And if I'm on dialysis, I have to limit to where I travel because...
Yes, indeed.
Right. And so it changes your whole life in terms of you have to cater to your state that you're in. And so, but I move forward with everything I do. You know, I'm very busy all the time,
right?
But you get an opportunity to where you're no longer looking at being successful. Once you get a transplant, once you understand the power of God and the power of people, and the power of giving to strangers that you wouldn't know, you're no longer trying to be successful because you really can't define success. It's different for everybody. When I was growing up, success was a wife, kids, picket fence, and a dog. That was success. It's not about being successful. It's about being significant. Everything that I do, I want to make sure I make an impact, because I think that is the formula for longevity. I feel that, you know, if you're not doing anything, I could have easily got that organ and went on my way, went back to work, take care of my family, and keep it moving. So when I stopped saying why me and then why not me, I knew that God was like, he's not going to lay down. He's not going to do this. He's going to talk about it. He's going to get in people's face.
Yeah.
Talking about organ donation ain't sexy.
And that's really good information for somebody who may be battling something. And I've said this before. You may be going through cancer right now because God's purpose for using your resilience and your strength is going to be a lesson for all of the people around you, all of the people that are privy to your story. Right. I've said that so many times. And I think a lot of times people think that prayer doesn't work if the person who has cancer, let's say, doesn't win the battle. But I believe that the lessons aren't just in you surviving. The lesson is also in the dignity and how you live with it and your transition, because death gives life purpose. Right. And so, but if you are a person who has survived something or overcome something, the lesson isn't just for you. It's for everybody around you that you are going to give access to your story. So I used to teach them how to get through whatever they're going through.
Right. The first year, I was getting tired of telling my story. Yeah. Until I started getting emails and letters saying how impactful it was for them and also what they were dealing with. And that my story and my transparency really helped them through a tough time. Now, there's some people that I've mentored before that just didn't make it. Like I said, that waiting list ain't no joke. Yeah. And there's young, beautiful people with a full life ahead of them, but they didn't make it.
That just reminded me of what I was going to say earlier. The friend that I have that is waiting on the kidney, he's 40. Okay. So he was 8 years younger than you were. And what happened with him was he had neuropathy. And for those of you who don't know what neuropathy is, it's just like a pain and a tingling sensation in your feet. And he basically was diabetic, and it went undiagnosed, and they kept telling him he wasn't diabetic. And then come to find out, it affected his kidneys because he was going all of this time without treatment. And now his kidney has varicose veins in it. And it's cirrhosis of the liver. And I thought that cirrhosis was only connected to like alcohol, but it's not. Right. So that taught me that. But then he's had 2 donors that have come up, but one liver was too small and the other one was too big. So I didn't even know that.
Did they do the surgery already before that, or did they cut them open? And then
no.
Because I've had people that have been there, cut open, and then found out that the liver didn't work. Yeah. This thing is serious. And
are you serious?
And so when you think about when you're on that waiting list, and they call and let you know that you might be number 10, you cannot turn your phone off. When you traveling, you're looking at that phone, because when you get that phone call, you got to answer it.
Yes, indeed.
And you got to have your stuff packed and everything, because if you get that phone call, that means you probably need to get to the hospital in the next few hours. Yeah. And so and then if you don't answer it, they will try to call you back, I think, one more time, and then they're going to put you back down on the list. Oh, Jesus. So instead of getting it, you might have to wait another month or 2. And these are life-saving organs. Nobody's trying to wait. But, based on your lifestyle, if you are serious about this, if you're serious about correcting a wrong that you're dealing with, you got to be prepared for it. Yeah. You got to be packed, ready. And then when you get this organ, it's really going to be based on what you do after it. You get a second chance on life, you got to do something better, because in your mind, in the back of your mind, the clock is ticking. Yeah. So,
So we're going to wrap this up in a minute, but I do want you want to give out the list so we can and anything else you want to say. I was going to say, somebody asked if she was a former smoker, can she still donate organs?
Yeah, if she's a former, they run tests. Yeah. And so at the end of the day, the test is going to tell you everything.
Yeah. And remember, it's not just about the major organs as well, because remember, you can do eyes, you can do skin, those kinds of things. Lungs,
and all that stuff. So wow, I guess I have to find your team, and I don't have my glasses, but I know it's gonna come up soon. So let's see. And you have a large team.
Oh, okay, there it is.
There it is. And
I got 46 people.
and then view participants. So
y'all, we get shitted on them other teams. I'm looking at the numbers.
So you can read your people. Hold on a minute. Okay,
we had showed up. All right, so
braggadocious.
Okay, so all right, so here are the people. If you're out of state, if you live out of state, and you're not going to be in Atlanta for the race this Saturday, and again, you don't have to run. You can walk because I'm walking.
And before you read your list, I'm gonna tell you something. You know what helps your organ?
What's that? Water.
Your filtered good water. His water is so good. It's filtered water. He'll let you know this because
he came in here talking about, can I get a bottle of water? No, we don't do that over here.
Okay.
The team name is the Writer's Block. The Writer's Block. Oh, they're asking what's in the swag bag. You want to show them while I'm reading this?
Well, I don't have everything that's in the swag bag, but this is the swag bag. That you'll get. You'll also get a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. T-shirt with the sponsors on the back.
Now my face should have been back here.
You're also gonna get other things. Arby's is one of our sponsors.
Right.
We got other sponsors that are putting things in the gift bag, and it might be water bottles, whatever.
So with Arby's, they're gonna get
a meal card.
You'll get a meal card for a free meal.
Yeah. So and everybody loves that.
Oh.
So
yes. But thank you very much, Mariah. But remember, this isn't just about the swag bag. This is about you.
Right.
Giving.
Right.
Okay, so we have Shatani, Yvonne, Sheila St. Julian, Lamika Woodbury. I'm skipping past people that I know that are local.
Oh, I thought you was having trouble.
No, I'm skipping past people that I know are here in Atlanta.
Public school education. Okay. Go ahead. Okay. I'm sorry. These you. Okay.
Nashelle Gale, Alice Parker. Oh, Alice is here, but I don't know if she'll be at the race. Nicole Mooten, Yolanda Smith, Avonda Barnes, Malcolm Robinson, Tiffany Smith Bell, Barbara Hyman, Tiffany Slade, Philip Syfax, Carolyn Prince, Sophia Rawls, Chandra Williams, Shedrick Joyner, Dane A., Christine Brown, Mantra Haddon, Carolette Allen, Shaq Henderson, Tiffany Stevens, Datis Boardley, Lily Duncan, Cheryl McCall, Aja Hicks, Mariah Ballard, who just sent that super chat. Thank you very much. Sandra Walker, Lauren Stewart, and Tangi Kobe. I think that's the end of the list, right?
Okay, and so those are the people you named that are out of town, or these are everybody?
Those are out of town. So if you're out of town, please email me. You want them to email me or email it to you?
Here's the deal. Once we finish with the race, we'll look at this, and whoever then pick up theirs, we'll go across the list.
Okay.
And we'll make sure that we mail it out.
Okay. So we'll
but we would love for them still to walk 3.1 mile, take a picture, tag me. I'm on IG, Facebook, and all that stuff.
Right.
It lays the foundation for us to make this a national event.
So in other words, what he's saying is, even if you're not going to be at the race, you can do it at your own house. Just walk. Walk.
Be on the treadmill.
Yeah, get on the treadmill.
If your temperature is like it is in Atlanta, almost 100 degrees, go to gym.
Listen, this temperature is not a game.
Yeah, so you can walk at home, walk in the neighborhood, walk on the treadmill.
And if I didn't say your name because you're signing up now, you'll be on the list, so that's fine.
Right.
She said, Powerful said she joined, but I didn't call her name.
What's the name?
Her name is, I don't know if she want me to say her name on here because she's really funny about me saying her name. But
okay, so you didn't see her name. You might have skipped over it.
Where's my list again?
I thought all those was your list. No,
I think I moved off.
Oh, okay. So you are
there. It is. Oh no, that ain't it. There it is, right here.
Yeah.
If I didn't call it, we'll get it. We'll get it to you.
Yeah, we're sending over the list to the race director tonight.
Okay.
So that they have everything on the list. I can't see the questions on your thing. So.
Right. So Christy is saying, is it 3 miles or 5 miles? It's 3 miles, but
3.1.
It's 3.1 miles, but it's called a 5K. Why do they call it a 5K? I guess it's
you might need to look that up.
I think it's because what is it, 5 kilometers? I don't know, but it's 3 miles.
I'm all about organ donor awareness, so you can figure out why they call it a 5K.
Listen, I'm about the concern of Black people and Black gays.
Because a 10K, I think is 7.5 miles.
It is, so, yeah. A 10K is 7, yeah.
Right.
What day is this? This is this coming Saturday.
June 18th.
All right, she said she's gonna ride her stationary bike. Come on, somebody.
That's what I'm talking about. So videotape that or take a picture and post that on social media and tag me. I'm a Father 5K or David Manuel I am on IG.
Right. So yeah, it's this Saturday, 8:30 a.m. We're gonna start at Grant Park. But yeah, so somebody said, Ann Hook said it is kilometers. So it's 5K is 5 kilometers. That's what I said, Nee. See,
you learn. See, I learn something every day.
So 5 kilometers is obviously 3.1 miles.
Right. I knew it in the house. So, yeah.
If you want to join, you still can. The link is in the caption of this video, and I will post it, on all of my social media as well, just in case you can't figure out how to get to the caption of the video.
Almost all your social media.
Cause I ain't got no Instagram no more.
Instagram, so.
Bastards. Anyway, anything else you want to add or say?
Your team is the largest team so far. So your team is the largest team.
Okay.
And it's great because I think 90%, if not 95 or 98% of you are new. This is our 8th year anniversary. And this is our first time back in actual for two and a half years
because of COVID.
And then we had a new location. We had Grant Park, so we moved it from DeKalb County to Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Because it's bigger exposure, and we have a plan for 2023. And so to start this plan, we needed to make sure we were centrally located. So
what's your Instagram again? They're asking.
Instagram is David Manuel I am, and David Manuel is Manuel. So David Manuel I am.
But the thing is, it's what I will say about my people, and I say this all of the time. There's a difference between having followers and having supporters. I have supporters, and especially when it's a great cause, they jump in. You know what I mean? And everybody that's watching, they don't have a lot of money. Some of them do.
Well, I know how you roll. Have they seen your backyard?
Stop it.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna upload a Patreon after this live. I got some Patreon for y'all.
Okay.
But but that's the thing that I love about this family, if you will, is that they're thoughtful, and part of it is because a lot of them are women, and the thing is, and followed by gay men. Women and gay men are very dialed into like social issues, especially women with money.
I know. For the couple events that I've been to at your place, the conversation and the dialogue has always been very enriching. I mean, it's been real, no chaser, cut to the point, and people need that. They need conversation that's gonna be real and not guarded because we don't have enough mature people to kind of handle this truth. And it's okay to not always agree. You can have educational disagreement all day.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, when you get in your car, you're going to look at that different point of view and say, you know what, this might change my thought process.
Yeah. And then the people that come to the events, it's straight, it's gay, it's I was going to say white, it's Black. But
now you talking about your event here?
Yeah.
I think I might be the only straight person there.
No, you were not. Christine came and her husband.
That's true.
Remember, he was talking about Cleopatra. This is on Patreon.
Yeah. He was straight, but he was somewhere else though.
Straight out of his mind.
Straight loony.
Oh my God. But anyway, listen, I'm gonna upload this. Wait, I think we have another question. Let me see. What happens if your body rejects the organ and discard it? So if your body rejects the organ, then you have to go back on that list.
They're gonna take it out, and they're gonna zip you back up, and you got to get on that list. I know a gentleman who they gave him the organ, and within 2 or 3 weeks, he was still at the hospital recuperating, and he rejected it, and they had to go back in and take it. It's a terrible feeling. You're so excited that you get this life-saving. You're so excited that you get off this list that some people have been on for 9 or 10 years. And you finally get that chance to have some sort of sense of normalcy in your life. Not being able to urinate 5 times every night, you know, and maybe sleep through a night without running to the restroom. Just little things that you're getting ready to change. And then all of a sudden, it rejects.
Yeah.
This thing called our body, God created the most magnificent invention ever.
And this is why I encourage you guys to take care of your body. And I know some of you say, well, you got to die at some point. You got to die of something. That's the easy way out. That doesn't mean that you don't want to have a quality of life while you're here. We're getting a lot of questions now, so we ain't going to go off just yet. Now they're coming in with all these great questions. Somebody said, did your personality change? Because they heard sometimes when people have a transplant, sometimes your personality changes. I've never heard that.
So I'm going to tell you something that's funny. So when I went to actually see the family and meet them for the first time. So first of all, it was the longest hug I'd ever given in my entire life. When I rang the doorbell,
I know they were crying,
and we just hugged and wouldn't let each other go. The hug had to be for 8 minutes, and that's a long time.
That is a long time to
hug. But when I sat with the mom, and I can see that she's still dealing with it because her son died, and she donated the organ. Then her husband died the next year.
Oh God!
And then her daughter, because she only had 2 kids, her daughter is in and out the hospital. She had some sort of gastro.
The one that you're friends with on Facebook?
Right. So she's always sick and having to go to the hospital. So it's a strain on everyone. And I sat on the couch with the mom, and I was like, I feel, she said, I feel Dylan's presence.
Oh,
and
wow.
she took me to his room. He still had a comic book open to the page in her room.
Oh. And
she had, what is the urn or whatever, with his ashes right there. And then in her bedroom, her husband's ashes is right there. So it's like nothing really changed. And I sat on the couch, and I could see where she was still feeling like kind of weird. And I was telling her, I said, you know what? I'm kind of a straight-laced person. I might have a drink here and there. I said, but my son, he smoked weed. And he came over. And instead of me not liking the smell,
you kind of enjoyed it?
While I was recuperating and I wasn't working, he was like, Dad, you might want to sit on the porch and go ahead and hit this.
But you enjoyed it.
And I enjoyed it. And it brought joy to her heart. She said, because Dylan smoked weed a lot. And I was like, so you mean I got his hookness on weed?
Right.
And we just sat there and laughed. And
oh, wow. So I guess that does happen.
Yeah, so it does happen. I strongly believe you can take on a personality. You get somebody hard, I think you can take on the spirit of that person. It depends on how in tune that person was with his body, as well as how in tune you are with this new organ.
Right.
And so, yeah.
So then the next question is, what happens to the rejected organ? So say that you had a transplant and then it rejects it. Can they use that again, or is it done?
If it's a bad organ, it's done. It's done. And so they can't use it. A lot of times it gets rejected while you're still at the hospital. Okay. So I don't think your other organ is discarded yet or whatever, because I think they give it a grace period to see what's going to happen. And remember, those pills that you're taking, those 40 pills are there to bridge the gap into this foreign organ in your body.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I started out with 40 pills, and then 3 weeks or a month later, it went down to possibly about 30. Then it went down to possibly about 25. And now I take 5 in the morning and 3 at night.
Okay. So,
which is a drastic change from taking 40.
So what's the, okay, you got 5 in the morning, 5 at night.
5 and 3. So I take eight a day.
So how often do you have to refill the prescription?
Some of them are 90-day supplies.
Okay.
But there are a couple of them that are 30-day supplies. And these pills aren't cheap. So like for a 30-day supply, if you don't have insurance, that pill could be probably about $2,500 for 30 pills.
For that one? Oh.
For that one pill. Now you're taking 8 or 9. And so
your insurance pays for yours.
Yeah, but with any insurance, it's usually 80-20. And that 20 is still no joke.
Well, how much is 20?
Just think about if you got to pay 20% of $2,700.
And you pay this monthly?
Every month, right.
20% of $2,700. Okay, that's about $540, almost $600 a month.
I could be having me a backyard like yours.
Oh my God. So, okay, here's the other question. Do some states have it where you can't meet the family that donated? I guess the family could decide whether or not they want to meet.
Yeah, I think by
like
law,
adoption, I guess.
I think by law, when it comes to organ donor, I think they all have the same rule. You have to wait 1 year. So you can write a letter. That letter goes to a lifelink or Donate Life. They hold that letter for a year, and then they send that letter to the family.
Right.
That family may never respond.
Yeah. Just like adoption. That's why I was
because
like sometimes when a person donates puts a child up for adoption, they may want to be anonymous. They may not ever want. They might want that case or thing filed. That thing sealed.
Right. So it's really up to the family.
Okay, yeah. Somebody said the donor family decides. Wow. So if you don't have insurance, I guess there are organizations that will help pay for your insurance.
There are organizations. There are also co-pay organizations where you can, apply for it to get some of your medicine comped, because you're trying to live, and to get this kind of medicine and then be chained to a desk of payment. That's not a great way of life because you're taking this for the rest of your life. So it's not like you're taking this for a couple of years and then you're going to be off of the organ is going to probably, really match with your body. Then you're off. Some of these pills you're taking for the rest of your life. Right.
I'm assuming needymeds.org is a place where you can get assistance with medication.
Possibly. And there are others too. And they're called like copay assistance. You have to fill out an application, and I think you have to renew it every year. You'll know when you have to renew it when you go to order your pills, and they say, "Oh, this is $3,500," and you're like, "Wait, hold up,
wait a minute,"
and you panic, and it creates stress on you because you got to have it.
Same thing with my friend back at home. He was going on about bills and this, that, and the third, and because he's been in the hospital since April. He just went home. He happened to go home that same weekend that I was home, but he had been in the hospital since April. We're now in June. And he, put everything off, like his car insurance, not his car insurance, his car payment. He got out of his lease at his apartment. Like he was able to push everything away.
Right.
And I said to him, I said, listen, you can't be worried about financial stuff. I said, at this point, you're battling, fighting for your life. Damn them bills. But also, and this is the plug, but it ain't really intended to be a plug. I promote this thing called Pay for Your Say. So he had paid for Your Say a year ago.
Okay.
It's like you get paid for your opinion.
Okay.
It's market research. And so he had joined a year ago.
Okay.
And so we got him in a study today. In fact, it paid him $250. So I told him, I said, you need to start using that as much as you can and, get that money coming in. You know what I mean? Stop worrying about, the bills.
Yeah. My biggest worry was to make sure I didn't run out of medicine. And I'll tell you, not last year, I think it was the year before last, I been traveling and I got low on some of my pills. And I placed an order and it was supposed to be delivered Friday. But because of COVID,
I was gonna say the mail was slow and crazy.
So when I tracked it, it was at the UPS warehouse and they had closed and I was out of my pills and I panicked. And I got in my car and Korea was like, where are you going? Where are you going? I was like, I'm going to the warehouse. And I got a hammer in my car. I got to get my package. And I don't know where it was stored.
He just gonna go in the warehouse with a hammer.
I was going to climb the fence and go over there because I felt like if I didn't have my meds, my organs was going to start shutting down.
Yeah.
And so do I care about going to jail for breaking entry? Nah, I care about living to see another day.
Yeah.
And so that's how desperate I felt.
Yeah, the money is in the medication, not the cure. Somebody said, the comment before that said, if you reach out to drug manufacturers, some of them will assist you with getting the pills as well.
Right. So one of the more well-known pills that you'll take is called Prograf. Prograf is anti-rejection meds that's really for kidneys and your liver. And so reach out to them because those pharmaceutical companies and that's making all these meds are that's one thing when you see the presidential race, they're always talking about how can they lower the cost of medicine because we can't afford it.
And for those of us that don't need that, that's one of those things that we're not always dialed into.
Right. So when we hear that campaign speech, you know, what are we really listening to? Are we kind of blown away by how they look in their suits or how they smile or whatever? Or are we blown away by what they're actually going to make changes? And when they talked about medical and Medicare and that kind of thing, it affects all of us.
Right.
You know, for these young voters, they don't see it because they're not having
they're
to
not
deal
there.
with it.
Yeah, yeah.
They got to start thinking about their parents. They got grandparents.
So someone said, if you miss taking the pills, I don't know if you've ever missed a day or
I
time.
have.
Okay. Do you notice anything different with your body immediately?
Yeah, yeah. So
what's the longest you've gone without taking your pills?
I think 2 days.
Okay.
Well, on that incident, yeah, it was 2.5 days.
So you ended up clearly you didn't go into the UPS. So how did you end up?
So I end up calling the hospital, and then they end up calling the CVS that actually had that specialty medicine on the other side of town, and they said, we're going to comp you 3 pills. Okay. And by that time, your delivery should come. Because I think it showed up that Friday, and then that Monday was a holiday. Okay. So it was going to sit there
in the warehouse. Tuesday. Yeah. So when you said you were going to the UPS thing, did you actually leave the house?
I went to the UPS store trying to let's see how I can get to the back door. I was serious.
Clearly. Okay, so somebody said, are there any unusual side effects from some of your medicines?
Unusual side effects. No, I think if I go without taking them for a day or two, my stomach will feel upset. I will feel it. I might get a slight headache or something like that. I don't make it a practice to miss. I mean, it's like clockwork. Yeah. I take my meds at 9:30 in the morning and 9:30 at night.
And that's it.
Yeah. I don't care where I am, if I'm traveling or whatever.
Right. So someone said, I'm trying to raise money now before my kidney transplant. They won't even give you the surgery unless you can afford the meds. We talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah. We talked about that.
Not tonight, but we had talked about it before.
Now, her first thing is to talk to family members to see if she can have a living donor in her family, because you only really need 1 kidney. And you can donate a kidney. That's the easiest thing, keep you from being on a waiting list for years. If you got a family member that's healthy enough to say, hey, I want to give you a special gift. So that's the first thing.
So, and I'm just going to ask the question that I'm thinking, and I know some of you may be thinking too. So yeah, you have 2 kidneys, but you only need 1. Now, what happened if I get to the later part of my life and I need my kidney? Because the one that I got left start failing.
In a nutshell, you can't really think.
And then you walk around with my good kidney.
First of all, I need some more filtered water, but
let me give him some more water while
I take the show over.
While he get this answer.
You can't think like that, really. You can't think, if I donate a kidney, then what's going to happen when I need it? It doesn't really work like that. Yeah, something could happen to your good kidney, and then you'll be in that same predicament. But you can't go around thinking the worst. You got to think the best, and the best is what you're doing is you're giving someone an opportunity to have a normal life. And by doing that, that's one of the most important gifts you can give. And you're going to get yours, and I believe in the best way. Right. Now, there are some incidents where somebody donated a kidney and kidney ended up failing and they were in trouble. But I don't go in thinking like that, because when I take the time out, which I do it often, and think about how grateful I am that someone made that decision to extend my life.
Well, here's the thing. You don't go into it thinking because you ain't donating no kidney and no liver.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. And you can donate a liver, because you can donate a part of your liver. Your liver will grow back.
It will grow back. Yeah, it will regenerate.
But, this is about the art of giving.
Look, says the recipient.
Yeah.
But look, Yolanda says you just sign out a person while you on the donor list.
Where's Yolanda from?
Yolanda, where you located? Look, Alicia said, or if I give you my kidney and we get divorced, I'm gonna need my ish back.
See,
part of the divorce decree.
she gonna be keying cars and
Look,
everything.
she Indian giving. So she said, Mariah says, if you donate a kidney and you then need one, you are moved to the top of the list immediately. Oh, really?
Yeah, now I've heard that too. And
okay.
And that's fact.
I didn't know that.
See?
I did not know that. Oh, that's good to know. Somebody said, can you Indian give your organs?
Wow.
Listen, we're just having fun because it's such a heavy topic, but no.
And an associate of mine, they did this exhibit called The Perfect Gift. And what they did was they highlighted people who were recipients, people who were donors, families. And it's a powerful exhibit. It was at the Tubman Museum in Montgomery. And I'm in the exhibit. But there's also a married couple there. And the husband donated his kidney to his wife. And, you know, they joined together forever because, and, you know, he saved her from having a very miserable life and probably a very short life. So
right.
It happens. It happens.
Okay.
But you can't think about if I'm going to need this.
Well, now I know that I'll go to the top of the list.
Yeah, go to the top of the list.
Don't y'all lose my paperwork. I'm going to need my paperwork. Excuse me, I donated. Can I? Excuse me, y'all get behind me. I'm next.
And I think you can't even put that in writing in the divorce decree. I gave him a kidney. I want half of that back. No, it doesn't work like that.
I want half of the kidney and I want half of the house and what's in the bank account.
Right, it doesn't work like that.
But anyway, let me see. No, he said 9:30 in the morning. They said, oh, it's 9:30. No, he said 9:30 in the morning.
No, also 9:30.
Oh, 9:30 at night too?
Yeah, yeah.
Where your medicine?
It's at the house.
All right, well, listen, we got to go. Listen, you all have an amazing night. Don't forget, you can still donate.
I sometimes take it at 10, you know, as long as I take it.
All right, he got a window. He got a window.
Yeah, I got a window.
All right, listen, you guys have an amazing night. Brush your teeth, floss your teeth, brush your tongue. I hope something resonated with you tonight. Please share this video. Please like the video because it makes the video active on YouTube and Facebook, and then other people will see it. That's why I always ask you guys to like the video.
And please follow me.
Oh, yeah. Follow David. What's your...
David Manuel, I am. And also...
They said your page is private.
Well...
On Instagram. Anybody follow nobody they can't see? You need to unlock that.
You can see my picture?
You need to... Anybody trying to zoom in to see that little avatar in the corner?
Okay. Wow. Okay. So wait a minute. How do I unlock?
He don't even know how to unlock it. I knew that was next.
Wait a minute. Here it is. Wait a minute.
You gotta get over here to the up here. Settings, privacy, private account, and take that off. All right, now can y'all see his page?
Wow.
Well, I was gonna say let me follow you, but I ain't got no Instagram no more.
Right, it'd be a ghost account. So,
all right, what you want to say? You want to say something else?
No, I thank you guys for taking the time out to listen. This has been, hopefully, this has been educational for some. Hopefully, this has been meaningful for others. I'm glad I got a chance to share my story. I'm glad I got a chance for you guys to hear it. And hopefully, if you had an opinion about it before, hopefully your opinion kind of changed. You can give people many things in life, but the most precious gift you can give anyone is the gift of life. And so consider it and consider sharing it with your friends because it's your friends that sometimes don't get it. You guys get it, but sometimes you got to share with people that this thing called life is unpredictable. It's short. We need to be supporting people. And if you can do something that's going to make somebody else's life better, why wouldn't you? And so I'm thankful that somebody made that decision for me so that I can continue doing the things that I do. And that is affect change, positive change in people's lives. So thank you.
So here's his Instagram. It's David Manuel, I am. David Manuel, I am. Now, I don't know where you go. Where are the people that were requesting? Because now they made it public. I don't know where that would be.
Well, it seemed like it would be no, right not here, but it would be highlighted somewhere like no.
He don't know. Listen, you all having a baby.
No, wait a minute. Here it is. Wait a minute.
Oh.
It would be highlighted like
so then you just gotta confirm these people. Here
right.
we go. Look at all these people trying to request.
Well, I need that doesn't mean I want to confirm them all.
You want to confirm these people. They trying to support you.
But that might not be your followers.
These are my followers. I know who my people are. That's the one who said I didn't call her name.
Okay.
Here's Nene Parker. Mantra. I know who my people are.
Okay, but don't you think
Stacey Michelle.
Don't you think I should confirm them so I can actually see
Marcus
see
Terry.
them, so that I can see them and get to know them?
I know who they are. Travis.
Do you have like a commercial break?
No, he ain't just accept you. I just accepted you.
Wow.
Let me see. Follow request. Okay, let me confirm of it. Natural Lisa. That's my girl down in Miami.
South Beach.
I know who these people are. The ones that be active.
No, but what I'm saying, then they get into my my list, and then I don't interact with them because I don't even know how they got there.
What you mean your list?
I mean, they be a part of my followers, but I hadn't confirmed them. When I confirm people,
T. Brown.
I look at them and
David, ain't nobody trying to hear all that. We just gonna right. Listen, Mariah, I just confirmed you or whatever it's called. Anyway, listen, you guys have an amazing night. Brush your teeth, flush your teeth, brush your tongue, and I will see you next time. I'm about to upload this Patreon now. When he got
I had his back.
Yeah. Let me give him his phone. Bye, y'all.